are live. Welcome everybody to According to the Vedas. This is a program where I'm going to discuss topics from the Vedas, whatever I feel like, or if anyone else wants to ask any topics, we can discuss them. And first, for this first episode, we are just going to talk about introductory, what are the Vedas? And so the Vedas are ancient books from India that are dated about 5,000 to 2,000 years old, depends on who you're asking. None of these scholars can agree. But the Vedas themselves date themselves at about 5,000 years old. And so we'll go with that, for lack of an argument on the other side. So the Vedas originally were one book. There was one Veda that contained all the knowledge that was believed to even exist. If there's any question, it could be answered through the expansive knowledge of the Vedas. And they were compiled by Srila Vyasadeva, and he broke them into 4 parts. And those parts are in terms of lowest levels of consciousness up to highest levels of consciousness. The Vedas are designed that way to take you from whatever level of consciousness that you're at and advance you further down the path of spirituality. And the 4 Vedas are not the only thing that are considered the Vedas. After that, Srila Vyasadeva also compiled 18 Puranas and 108 Upanishads, and these books were more of a summary of the essence of the Vedas. The 4 Vedas themselves are very rooted in material life, and many sutras and things like that, they have to do with how do we go about our day-to-day business in this material world, whereas the essence of the Vedas is actually one of a spiritual nature. How do we live in this material world, yet develop our spirituality and advance in our spiritual life? And one of the Puranas in particular is the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's known affectionately. It's the Bhagavata Purana. And the Bhagavata Purana is said to be the summum bonum of the knowledge of the Vedas. And so this is a book actually that has been made accessible to us. It was translated in the 60s and 70s by an Indian Swami, and he translated it actually into 30 volumes. And so in those 30 volumes, we actually have that we can search at any time. It's this wonderful website. I want you to check it out right now. I'm going to pull it up for you all here. Just bear with me while I pull this up, and let's go ahead and minimize that. So this website is called Vedabase.com. Pretty catchy. And so on Vedabase, it has many books also translated by Srila Prabhupada, the Indian Swami. And so we want to go up here to search, and you can search for anything. Let's search for dreams. See what the Srimad Bhagavatam has to say about dreams. We're going to click on Srimad Bhagavatam, and here you go. And so the way that this is you have the canto, and you have the verse, or the chapter, and then the verse. So let's check out this one over here and see what the Bhagavatam says about dreams. Everything happening within time, which consists of past, present, and future, is merely a dream. That is the secret understanding in all Vedic literature. Wow, so that's pretty deep, and there's a little purport. There's purports to most verses, and so the little explanation here is factually all of material existence is only a dream. People who are addicted to karma kanda vichara, which means working for future happiness through fruitive activities, are also dreaming. Similarly, past happiness and present happiness are merely dreams. The actual reality is Krishna. This is a name of God, which means the all-attractive, or the source of all attraction, which can save us from the clutches of Maya, which is the material energy or illusion. So yeah, there's an example of that. And so let's come back here. Hey, everybody. So I did want to talk about a couple things from the Vedas that I know a lot of people are oftentimes talking about, and so I wanted to offer the Vedic perspective on all of those things. And so, again, feel free, if anyone's out there, if you want to chime in and or ask any questions or comment, please feel free to. And, I've studied a little bit of the Vedas and the Bhagavatam, so I certainly don't know everything, that's for sure. And I'll probably misspeak here and there, and I do apologize, but please feel free to ask for any clarifications or research yourself. The Veda base is an incredible resource to read the Bhagavatam and other Vedic literature, so please take advantage. So one thing that I did want to talk about is life on other planets. So the Vedas are very specific when it comes to if there is life on other planets. And in fact, what the Vedas say is that there is no planet that does not have life. In fact, there is no point, no square inch, whatever measurement you want to call it, small measurement, you cannot find that does not have life in the entire universe. This is what the Vedas say. And we can see that as factually true on our planet. Where is there a point on our planet that does not have some kind of life? Even in volcanoes. Even it's speculated that on the sun there may be living entities that can live in this unbelievable fire. At the very, very bottom of the ocean, unbelievable coldness. There's still living entities there. It's simply that we only have a body for a certain level of perception. There are many bodies. We see there are millions of different life forms. Scientists speculate, there's something between 3 and 5 million. The Vedas clearly state over and over again that there are 8,400,000 different species of life. So all these bodies are equipped to perceive differently. And our body is no different. Our eyes, our ears, our tastes, our touch, it perceives a level of frequency. And so we are not equipped to see the type of life that is living on other planets or in space. And simply we're trying to use our senses, we're trying to amplify them with microscopes or telescopes or x-rays or infrared or ultraviolet, whatever, sound bouncing back, radio waves. The scientists use all kinds of things, but it's using our own senses. So if we don't have the senses to perceive other life on other planets or anything, for example, there's many things scientists know we can't perceive, like black holes. They just know that something's there because they see the effect pulling on matter. So we can't see it, but we know it's there. So similarly, there are many things that don't necessarily leave a trace on our world for us to know, to us to notice, but oftentimes they do, and it develops into mythology, for example. And even today there are many people, are there aliens? Have they come and visited us? Some people believe they've seen. There's countless eyewitness testimonies of all these of aliens and ghosts and gnomes and fairies and all kinds of things. And it just kind of becomes, is it real? Is it not? We don't really know. But the reality is our senses are so limited that we have to rely on knowledge that comes from beyond those senses, which is, according to the Vedas themselves, what the Vedas are. The Vedas were not written necessarily by a person. It did not come from a person's mind, according to the Vedas. That they were compiled 5,000 years ago, because the age of Kali, the age of darkness and hypocrisy and quarrel, was setting in. And this information needed to be written down and preserved, or it would be lost. And so we're very fortunate that it was written down and we do have it. So we, for all intents and purposes, we're going to take it at its word. I find that